Hi guys, it's me Ty here coming from Vientiane, Laos, and as you guys can tell, I have completed my 30 days in Vietnam for the first time, and I want to give you guys my final thoughts on Vietnam. Um, First of all, I want to say that I did kind of have some preconceived notions beforehand because I watched a lot of YouTube videos and like even with my roommates, where it seemed like from my experience of visiting with all these people, either you love Vietnam or you hate Vietnam. It's like there isn't much of a middle ground, where like Thailand or Cambodia, you can have like kind of an indifference. Um, so and first of all, like I said, with me coming from, uh, yeah, it's a well, first of all, I'm gonna say I'm thankful for going there. I do not regret going down there. Ever since I was a kid, I've always wanted to meet the women in Vietnam and see how I like them and everything because I always thought they were so pretty. Well, so back to my preconceived notion. Okay, so coming from the Philippines where everyone's super sweet, great relationships, and then but my girlfriend, I didn't feel the butterflies in my stomach for like I didn't find her as attractive as I was hoping, And then somebody suggested I come to uh, um, Thailand, and probably honestly I probably would have gone to Vietnam first, but Thailand wasn't really on my radar. I went there and I ran into them and most beautiful women in the world, and I still think they're the most beautiful women in the world, and I just couldn't get out of there because I was so hung up on them. But they want to have babies with a Thai man, and then um, with my work visa, it's tough to work there and stay in Thailand long term. So I finally went to Cambodia, and the Cambodia women, they're probably just a little bit behind the Thai girls on that, but foreigners from Africa and Europe, all of them pushing baby strollers, and that's how I tell if there's a future for a foreigner in a country. Are they starting a family with that woman and laying down roots? And that was what was so wonderful about Cambodia. And then finally, I made it over to Vietnam, which I planned on for so long. And I got there, and honestly, like the people are really nice, business-like, and everything. The country is beautiful. It's easy to ride a motorbike and all that, but I just did not find the women attractive. Like there, I can honestly say that there was not a single girl there that just melted my heart when I locked eyes on her. They just they're a totally unique people. Like Thailand and Cambodia, the women look very similar. But when I came to Vietnam, the first thing I noticed about them, they have the most beautiful eyes I've ever seen. They have the Chinese eyes, the almond eyes, shaped eyes. But like I said, for me personally, every guy's different. We're looking for different things. We're attracted to different things, and yeah, just weren't my type. I did ask one girl out. She was 19, one of the waitresses there, and I thought she was kind of cute, but she still wasn't exactly like what I'm looking for. And I just kind of so I asked her out, and I asked her if she had a boyfriend. She said no, she doesn't have a boyfriend, and I was like, when's your day off or whatever? And she's like, oh, I work every day, 7 days a week or whatever. So then I asked her, like, well, when do you get off, or when do you start? So because obviously she would have time before or after work that we could go out to eat and get to know each other and everything. And she's like, um, I work all day or whatever is what she said. And I didn't push it any more than that because like um another in like the United States, you ask a girl out. I remember the first time I asked my first girlfriend out in the United States when I was 17 and um I called her up and I asked her if she wanted to like go out on a Friday night or Saturday night and she's like, no, I work or whatever. And I thought it was just an excuse, that oh she doesn't want to go out with me or whatever. And I was like, oh okay, thanks for your time or something, just kind of whipped with my tail between my legs. And and she's like, no, no, wait. She's like, she's like, I have Sunday off or whatever. And I was like, oh okay. She's like, and I was like, oh okay, would you like to go out Sunday, you know? So, but with this girl here, she didn't say any more than that. So I'm like, she probably wasn't interested in me, you know? So, but yeah, she's the only one that like I even felt anything for. But like I said, she definitely wasn't like it would have to be one of those more like get to know her and kind of create a bond with her if me ever seen having a kid with her, you know. But like here in Thailand and Cambodia, like there's girls that I just lock eyes on, and like I said, they're just so beautiful and everything. I'm like, wow, I could have a kid with that girl, you know. So, but yeah, Vietnam, like I said, I just never got that vibe with the entire month there. And then actually the weather there, I didn't care for it. Um, like Ho Chi Minh City, I spent 2 days there, and I wanted to spend an entire week there, and I was bored out of my mind. Like the weather wasn't bad or nothing. It was just I was bored. I didn't like it. Then I went to Da Nang, and for being a city of 2.1 million people, you know, really close to the size of the 2.3 million people in Phnom Penh, like the traffic wasn't bad at all there. So I rented my first motorbike. I drove to Hoi An, which was 28 kilometers away. I drove up in the mountains with that little 50cc motorbike. It had power. Like a 50cc does just fine in Vietnam. And like, um, I went up, I went to all four sides of the city. One side is of course the ocean, so you can't go any further than that. But the other side is Hoi An, the ancient city. So I went there, and that was a beautiful ride out there. Then I drove up in the mountains where the big statue is, some Chinese temple and everything, and until they got to a dead end, and that was beautiful. And I drove up north of the city, and that's all along the coast of the ocean. And there's these huge boulders the size of like houses that are up on their end, and you think if there was a mudslide here, because it was raining like heck when I was be out there, and if they came down, you'd be dead. And but the thing about Vietnam is Da Nang, once it starts raining, it doesn't quit. It rained all day long. Like when I was going to school in Thailand, you know, it'll rain at supper time, right after supper time, and then you're stuck in a in the mall or whatever for like an hour waiting for the rain to stop or whatever. And that's can be how Cambodia is too. But we don't rain every day, all day, where there isn't a single let up. So me, I'd be at home inside the hostel, just watching movies all day long, and I can't stand that. It's hard on my eyes to just stare at a phone screen or computer screen all darn day without getting out and going for a walk and doing stuff. So that so I didn't care for that, and also it was kind of cold too. There was lots of times I'd have to wear a long sleeve shirt over my normal shirt there. So and then super windy because of the ocean breeze. Um, yeah, and what else about it? Yeah, like I said, I just I didn't feel it. Nothing against the country. I just didn't feel it. And like I might have said in my previous video, usually I'll always keep my currency from each country. There when I got to that airport, I was dead set on exchanging my Vietnamese dong for U.S. dollars, and that's what I did. For some reason, I thought I had more money. I thought it only came out to seven U.S. dollars that I exchanged back for, but I took it. So, but Vietnam, one thing that I would say is that I do think everybody should go there to see when you're looking for a woman to settle down with. You wanna find out where are the prettiest girls to you that you're most attracted to. So definitely go there because they might be your type, and they are a lot of guys' types. Because when I was walking around Vietnam, there was so many foreigners with that had Vietnamese girlfriends. None of them were pushing baby strollers. None of them that I could tell had any babies with them. You guys, but um, and most of the Vietnamese girls they were with, they weren't slim. These were pretty big girls there. Oh, and another cool thing about it though, I actually got to run into a few girls from India and Maldives. Like one time when I was going out for supper, I ran into this really skinny girl from with her Russian boyfriend, and I'm guessing they were both backpackers on vacation there, and that's how they ended up hooking up. which I've seen that a lot over the years. That's how people actually, a lot of them end up meeting their future husband or wife. Is one of my friends, she immigrated from Hong Kong to the United States, and halfway through college, she decided to go down to Medellin, Colombia, just to go backpacking over summer or whatever. And she ended up meeting a guy from Poland that was backpacking, and they had a fling and spent all their time together there. And after like 2 years later, they just kept in touch or whatever, and they ended up meeting on another backpacking trip, had another fling hookup together, and they ended up getting married and have two babies together, and they're happy as hell. So, um, but yeah, this girl from Maldives, she was when I met her, when I saw her from the back behind, and it's like, oh, okay, is this girl Thai or whatever? And she turned around and she had a face from India, and I was like, where are you from? And she's like, I'm from Maldives or whatever. So, but yeah, like I said, super thin, toothpick legs on her. And then I was out having breakfast at Moon Milk. It's one of the convenience stores there. So I was over there. I was just my habit of having milk for breakfast because I want to stay kind of healthy and or whatever. And I see this woman across the street. They were kind of far away, and then she had this another woman that had her back towards me, just super skinny, toothpick legs. Remind me of my first time in Thailand. Like I walked into Terminal 21, the big shopping mall, on a Saturday, and there was two two women in front of me, and they had their shorts on. It almost looked like a diaper because there there was so much gap between their shorts and their leg. They just had the toothpick legs. And they turned around, just beautiful Thai girls, enjoying their Saturday, going up the escalator. And that's like, I'm going up that escalator too. And that's how it was. When this girl turned around, I expected her to like be Thai. Nope. She was, she had an Indian face. And they saw me looking at them across the street. Like, most girls in a lot of countries or whatever, they see a guy checking them out or whatever, and they'll they'll walk off or whatever. Nope. India girls are totally different. Like, and and that was another thing that any India girl that I've ever ran into in like Thailand, that we run into a lot of them. They're on holiday. They're always huge. They're fat. You know. Um, nope. This girl was skinny as hell, and she was tall too. She must have been close to my height. 5'7", 5'8". And they come down and they sit down. Hey, baby. In our hostel here, we have a 7 or 8 months old kitten here. It just gets tons of love. Everybody just loves the heck out of this little kitten. So they come down, they sit at the restaurant right next to me because Moon Milk, we have our tables right next to there. So obviously they wanted me to approach them or whatever. So I finished my milk and I walked by them because I'm the type of person I gotta see if I think around in my head a few times or for a while, even a couple days sometimes, for I'll approach a woman if I really like her. So I walked by and I was like, wait a minute, I better strike up conversation. So turn around and I walk up to their table and they're both smiling at me. And I was like, are you two from India? And they're like, yep, we're from India or whatever. And we started asking, I was like, is this your first time in Vietnam? And they're like, yep, this is our first time. And I was like, yep, it's my first time too. And I was like, how long are you here for? And they're like, we're here for another 6 days. And I was like, how old are you? And the really skinny one, she said she's 23, and then the other one said she was 24. And I was like, would you guys just finish up kind of university or whatever and all that? And they're like, no, we've been in the workforce for a couple of years, but just decided to take a vacation here. And I asked them what all countries they've been to. And I think that it was, I don't remember what countries. They hadn't been to too many of them yet, you guys. So, and I told them, I was like, um, I was like, I only have one more country left on my list. I was like, I'll have Southeast Asia done, the big tour done. I was like, I did the Philippines, Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, and I just got to do Laos left. And I was like, I'm planning on skipping Malaysia and Indonesia because of, with all my roommates, so many of them are from Malaysia and they look Filipino, they talk Filipino, except they're Muslim. And I was like, well, if I was attracted to that, I'd just go to the Philippines, because they have something in common with what I was raised up into Christianity, you know. And so I was like, yeah, I was like, I'm not gonna go to Malaysia or Indonesia because I heard that everybody said, you know, if I want to have a baby with one of them someday, which I won't have kids of my own someday, you know, that their parents are really gonna pressure me to convert to Islam. And Islam is a very strict religion, very religious, and I'm not a very religious person, so I would not fit in very well, and I don't want to convert to Islam. So, and they're like, well, they're like, you should have, they're like, well, have you ever been to India? And I was like, nope, I've never been to India and have never had it on my radar, I said. And they're like, well, if you end up settling down with a girl in India, they're like, we're Hindu, so we won't force you to convert to Hinduism and you won't have to convert to Islam. I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, they were so friendly to me. So I actually could have asked her out, but I was like, I want to see these girls in Laos or whatever. So on another day, I went to have breakfast or whatever, and I get home to my hostel, and all the boys have our dorm room, and all the girls have their dorm room, but we all share the same bathroom. We had our four sinks there, and our four toilet stalls, and our four showers. So I was just getting ready to open up one of the shower doors, top of the shower, and the shower door next to me flings open, and out walks this person in a raincoat. And I look over, and it's this girl's probably like 5'6" or whatever, India girl with these big brown eyes, just like the other one, and dark brown hair, just beautiful smile, and she had braces, and she was just smiling at me. And all I was thinking is, why does she have a raincoat on? I was like, was she peeing or taking a poop in our darn shower? Was the first thing going through my mind because I've had roommates from India over in Cambodia, and we had some of them that pooped on the floor, threw the toilet paper in the toilet or whatever. And I'd always heard like, well, I done the Google search, and they said, you know, India has only 4% of their homes have a toilet, have indoor plumbing in their house or whatever. And one of my Thai friends, one of the girls I used to hang out with, she's like, yeah, I went on holiday to India, and she's like, I had a really weird experience. I was walking down the street, this lady walks out of her house, and she goes and poops right on the curb of the street. And I was like, what? so so that made me do a little bit more research while I was still in Vietnam of how uh, it is over there. And a guy, he just in the last like year or two, he did a study for the news or whatever of, is it true that in India they don't have toilets? Most places don't, and it's completely true. He said that the government has set up public toilets or whatever. There's like 24 toilets, maybe like 36 of them or whatever, where everybody in the neighborhood would have to walk, you know, whatever, a couple blocks to go take a pee or whatever there. And like nobody was actually in them, he said. Like most of them were empty or whatever. And he went around asking all these people in the community, do you guys have a toilet in your house? He couldn't find any of them. He finally found one family that said, "Oh yeah, we have a toilet in our house." They were the only people in that freaking neighborhood, and it wasn't. All it was a little like squat pot. Yeah, that's what it was a squat pot. Nothing fancy. But on that, nobody had toilets. So that's complete bullshit that people have toilets in their houses, and I could see, you know, a person's got to pee all the time or whatever. So, so yeah, I and that girl, I didn't remember seeing her in her hostel, so I don't know if they were even staying in her hostel. She might just walked in or whatever, but you never know. They could have spent the night in her hostel since the girls are in a different dorm room. But so she she's smiling or whatever, and I was like, hello or whatever. And I go to the shower or whatever because I already kind of had like a bad preconceived notion of this girl, even though she was hot as hell, and she was probably peeing in our shower. So so she walks out or whatever. And after that, I decided at dinner time or whatever, which was pretty darn close because I had a really late breakfast or whatever. I went down to Full Market, which was right down the street, and I see those two girls, her and her friend or whatever. I hadn't seen her friend, but kind of a heavier weight girl there. And the skinnier girl walks across the street. She didn't see me because I was about a block away. I was way off. And she went over to the restaurant across the street or whatever. And I get close to the Full Market and look across and over at the restaurant. and I didn't see her sitting down, so she must have just gone over there to use the bathroom. And the bigger girl, I give her a smile or whatever. She looks up at me and she smiles at me. Walk into Full Market and I get my groceries for dinner because I was going to cook up my own ramen noodles. And I come out and I walk by her, the bigger girl, and and the really skinny petite girl, the toothpick legs, she hadn't come back yet or whatever. So I was like, I turn around and it's like, I might as well strike up a conversation till that cute girl comes out of the restaurant or whatever. So I walk over to that India girl or the heavier weight girl, and she looks up at me and she smiles at me, and I was like, "Do you happen to be from India?" And she's like, "Yep, yep, I'm." Or I was like, first of all, I said, "Are you two from India?" Because I'd seen the other girl too, and she's like, "Yeah, yeah, I'm from India." And I sat down at the little table that the convenience store has set up for us to eat our candy bars or whatever, and we started visiting for like 10 minutes for a long, long time. And just about, what if they're on holiday or whatever. And then finally her friend comes over and she's just smiling at me and she's got her braces. And the whole time she was just smiling at me. And I was like, what are you guys up to? And they're like, well, we're on vacation. I was like, how old are you? And they said they were 25. They're both 25 years old. These two are a little bit older, I think. And they said, yeah, they're on holiday and that they're just waiting for the bus. They're going to go to Hoi An. And I was like, oh, it's like I drove there on the motorbike and it only cost me $2 in gas. And they're like, yeah, that's what we're paying here for the bus ride there. And I was like, yeah, but you're going to have to pay the $2 bus ride to get back. And they're like, oh no, they're like, we're going to get a hotel there and stay there. So that's what they were going to do. So I guess I could have tagged along with them because I could tell that both of those really skinny India girls, they really like me. But so that might be an option. Like if I don't find a girl over here in Asia, they actually do have skinnier girls in India. They're not all just fat like the ones that you see on in Thailand. So, and like I said, they have beautiful big brown eyes and dark brown hair and just a big smile. And yeah, they really are cute. So, guys, keep India on your radar. They do have pretty girls there. So, um, and let's see, should I add anything about Laos here in this video or not? Well, we're only at 22 minutes here, and I kind of like to make the nice long videos rather than a whole bunch of short little ones. And my cell phone, it doesn't have much storage on it, so my videos get cut off. So whenever I get the chance to actually use my laptop when it's quiet out, which a lot of hostels is not, and here it's just so early in the morning, it's quieter. I'll probably talk. I might as well talk about that. So, yeah, these Laos girls, they look like Cambodia and Thai girls, and like I said, they got the round face like the girls from Udon Thani, which, by the way, Vientiane here that I'm in, the capital city, is right across the border from Udon Thani, which is where my old girlfriend from Cambodia or from Thailand was, and she had the round face and really wide smile, and the jet black hair, and black veins and black eyes, and the cutest girl I've ever been with in my life, and yeah, just most beautiful woman I'd ever been with in my life. And she was 22, my girlfriend was. So, um, yeah, so as of right now, here, you guys, the hottest girls here in Asia, I've officially visited all these countries: Thailand, Cambodia, and Laos here. If you like the looks of a Thai girl, definitely visit these three countries because these are where you're gonna find the girl that you guys are really attracted to. If you're attracted to that look, and um, yeah, it's and also we have a lot of Thai people over here. Like one of my roommates here, she's an older Thai lady, and she's still very beautiful, super skinny and everything, beautiful smile and all that. So she's obviously from Udon Thani, coming over here for just she's probably maybe she's retired. I don't know, but just spending all of her time over here. So um, yeah, I finally found what I'm looking for, you guys. So now I don't need to be hopping around from country to country. And with my 2 month visa, I guess even though I said I'm only this must be a common thing here because I ran to two German girls last night, really tall or whatever, and they were smiling at me in the convenience store, so I came over and talked to them. And I was like, is this your first time in Laos? And they're like, yep, it's our first time. And I was like, mine too. And I think they've been here about a week though. And I was like, by the way, I was like, I only asked for a 30-day visa and they gave me a 60-day. And she's like, we only asked for a 10-day visa and they gave us a 30-day. So it's best to probably buy your ticket through that onward travel for $20 or whatever rather than spend 150 or $200 on an exit ticket in case you guys really do like the girls here enough that you meet somebody and that you want to end up staying here for 2 days rather than taking your flight out of the country back to Cambodia or wherever other country you thought that was your backup plan. Because Cambodia was definitely my backup plan. Like I said, if I didn't like the girls here, I would, after 30 days I was gonna be heading back to Cambodia. But with how beautiful the women are here, I'm having second thoughts. But like I said, I don't know how the dating scene is. I haven't gone out on a date here with any of these girls yet, of how they think or anything like that, and of if these girls are interested in having babies with a foreigner. Like I said, Thailand, for the most part, they're not. But the girls up here more towards Unanthony in the province up here, with us being pretty much Vientiane feels like a province of Thailand, even though we're in a different country. Maybe they only have babies with Lao men. So I don't know. I haven't seen anybody pushing strollers. I've never, um, at the night market I see a lot of Lao girls carrying their little baby or whatever in a little sling or whatever, but I don't really know it's the husband with them. They're just out for the night, I guess. So all right, I'll end this video here, and if you guys like this content, like, share, and subscribe, and I will keep kicking out these videos from Vientiane, Laos. All right, bye.